I'm super excited. I have a young lady in here that I have known for how long have I known you?
Oh my gosh, I don't even know.
Years?
I think 20. Yeah. So a long time. And you do have a business here in town. Tell us the name of your business.
Yes, I am the owner of D Events, formerly D Party Girl, and we provide luxurious balloon decorations and party planning services.
And today she provided a backdrop for WAPN, didn't you?
Absolutely, and I'm so excited to be a part of this and to give back to our community.
Well, I'm so honored that you did this for us because we've known you forever and we've worked together doing different events and stuff. And to see you pull up today and start unloading all the surprises, it's so much fun because you never know what you're going to do. And I don't know if you knew our colors were red, white, and blue. I didn't know if you knew that.
I did not originally, and I reached out to Yvonne. I'm like, hey, what do you want me to do? And she's like, red, white, and blue, silvers, anything. She just always gives me like just creative control.
Right.
And she trusts the process.
Right. Oh, well, the process always looks amazing. And it's neat because red is for the blood of Jesus, and the red, white, and blue is because I'm all American. You know, and we reach the world. We reach everywhere through the radio station. So I just love that you had the idea when you drove up, and I was like, I was getting all excited. And then we got a photo booth out there. We're going to have food and stuff. And I know you give back to a lot of things in our community. And why do you do that? What's the purpose of giving back to you?
Well, I'm a Daytona Beach native, born and raised. I know you don't meet a lot of people like that. And it's just always been important to me to give back to the community and those who, may be less fortunate, because everyone, goes through situations and you just don't know when it could be your time. Mm-hmm. And hopefully, since I pay it forward and give back from the bottom of my heart as God has asked me to do, hopefully one day if I'm ever in need or if someone's in need, that I know someone will actually do the same thing.
And, that's funny because that's my heart too. I mean, I just always love to do. And, people say, why do you do that? There was a time in my life, we were both single moms,
Exactly.
And it was a journey. And I am so darn proud of your son and how you raised him, because my goodness, the scholarships that young man has won.
Gosh.
But that's because of you and your dedication. And I believe God just kept on saying, look at her. She's doing this. She's out in the community.
Yes.
She's doing this. She's teaching him to do that. I know he did the work, but if he didn't have a mom that prayed over him and pushed him
every day and still continue to pray. He's, at LSU, and last week was family weekend. So I did, have the opportunity to go and see him and, hear about how the college experience has been. And, I'm so glad that I raised him with, good morals and, he attended, Lord's Academy, and then over to, Father Lopez, and eventually did graduate from Mainland. But I'm glad he had that foundation and, right from wrong, and, God sees you if no one else does.
Yeah, and I love that. That is totally it.
So, I'm not, I was nervous at first because, in Louisiana, we don't have any family, friends. We got that scholarship, which, I'm so thankful for.
But God went before him.
Yes. I was terrified about it, but I'm like, you know what? Everything happens for a reason. And I had only planned, for him to stay in Florida, but I'm like, God had his own plan, clearly, because I'm like, we can't afford out-of-state tuition. I don't want you to have student loans. And then God's like, oh, okay, here's this $83,000 from LSU. Here you go, And then, we have, here's a $20,000 scholarship, and here's this. And it's like, okay, we have over $100K now. You can, go to the school and, just go there and remember your foundation and
his
fun.
Mama has been planting seeds all over this town for her whole life.
Yes.
And so the watering worked, and God said, let me show you. Yes. And when he shows up and shows out, he does more than you ever desire.
Absolutely. It's more than I ever could have dreamed from. Like I said, I had my own plan, but God had his, and I'm so glad that I stepped out on faith, and I'm like, let go and let God.
And I love that you said that, because when we were starting for today, I had one plan. It's bittersweet for me. I'm the second generation. Yvonne's the third generation. And one of my granddaughters that will be here in a little bit is the fourth generation. And that alone is amazing in itself, to think we have 4 generations of people part of WAPN,
Yes.
But I still think of my parents and what would they think of today. And then it's just every time I turn around, like my friends came all the way from Orlando just to come here and serve today and bring ice. Somebody, I couldn't get sweet potatoes. Somebody just brought sweet potatoes.
Aww. Asking, you shall receive. All you have to do is just ask, and it will all fall into play. Once God tells you, this is what I want you to do, all the pieces just
I know.
begin to
and
just
you
like
are a part of
come
that
in.
piece.
Yes,
and I'm so
glad to
thankful
be.
you're in my life. You know, she gave to the shoe drive when we did the shoe drive. You know, she's given back to Vonnie so many times, and just a good person in my life. And I'm thankful to have you in my life. And so tell us your business again and how we would get a hold of you.
The D Events, and I can be reached at dgarrett@devents.net, or you can find me on Instagram at devents386 or devents on Facebook.
And if you can't find her there, you can always call Yvonne, and Yvonne.
Exactly. Yvonne will track me down no matter what.
And you know what I love about you girls? Nothing is too small or too big.
No, absolutely not. Like our businesses have grown, together. I remember we were like, she's like, I have this idea, and to see how the flower bar has bloomed into this massive, flower business. It is just amazing. I remember our very first event over at LPGA, and she's like, I have this idea, and we're going to do this. And we did that first setup, and it seems like a million years ago, when in reality it was maybe 2?
Yeah.
And she's, huge storefront on Granada, just great things. I'm so excited for her to see
Well, you
her.
do great things in this area too, young lady. So thank you so much for coming in here. I love you, and thank you for donating to WAPN.